my friend, this is gonna be just a little bit longer than the shorts. So if you found the shorts and then you found this video, congrats. I want to tell you that I'm really proud of you for being here. These scales are something you will practice every day. It's something that all musicians practice every day. What we do is we break it down after knowing the 7 diatonic notes in a scale, plus that octave note, and then be able to utilize those in a different form and fashion using something called modes. All that is rearranging 1 or 2 notes here and there to give a feeling of a different expression. Okay, we'll talk about that each and every time in every one of these videos. Not too much, but just a little, just so it all sinks in. We start layering these concepts, and inevitably you're going to have a huge stack of awesomeness to eat and to perform with and be awesome with. So the concept here is playing saxophone that is E flat is going to be in a different concert pitch than anything else. So when you have something like a piano, you're not going to be playing in the same C major note as their C major. This is an E flat instrument. We will talk about how to transpose in another video. Please look for that. But for this video today, we're going to talk about how your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pads down makes a D major. When we remove this bottom finger, it goes to all 3 of those down again, and then just the first 2 fingers for an E natural. Thusly, we can't just lift our finger and go to an F natural because there is an F sharp in the key of D. D, E, F sharp. Meaning, we're not going to go up to our first finger, we're going to relieve that E to a middle finger. It's going to make an F sharp, which is the minor third of the chord, D major, E minor, F sharp minor. Then it goes to a G major, 1, 2, 3 pads down. If you're following the series now, you'll notice that a lot of these notes are in other chords. That's because we only really deal with 7 diatonic chord structures. They can all be triads based off on what position they are in this. However, when I say D major, I simply mean D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. Those 2 sharps really make a difference. Here's the next note after G, goes to 1 finger off, leaving 2 notes down for an A. When we remove 1 of those fingers and play just the top finger up here, we get a B natural. It's going to give us this. When we remove our finger and put the second finger down, it gives us a C natural. But we don't want a C natural. We want a C sharp, which means all fingers off of the whole thing. It's played open. That's what the note is. There are alternate fingerings for that C sharp, but for today we're just going to keep it with the open one so we can get used to playing that as our transition note between C, C sharp, and then D. Very interesting concept. So from the top. Thing I suggest is when you go to that D to resolve your octave up a little higher than the other one, you throw down your octave note. When you do that here and you keep your finger pressed on the thumb pad and put it down slightly, it just helps if you're not used to making that note a higher timbre with your mouth. You don't need to use the octave at a certain point. You use your mouth to tighten down and blow a little bit more air into the fuselage through the chamber, and it will give you just a slighter high sound. This is without the octave, and here's with the octave. Can't hear the difference. Cool. So, once again, in review, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, no hands, and then D again with the octave. Going all the way up to the high D. Same notes. Notice how the high C sharp, we have our octave going through the whole thing. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and then open C sharp. Every single one of them has the thumb down on the octave to get that. And then the first of your roll, your pawn keys. So I say not my problem. N is the one closest to me, not my problem. M is the one furthest away, and P is on top. Make up your own acronyms. Then again, these are all from the series that I learned from, the Rubank series. It is, I don't know, there is a plethora of information in this series. It's not hard to follow, and I really like the methodology that's taught in it, so that's what I teach from, because that's what I was taught to. So in the description, I might leave a link to the Rubank elementary book. However, you can just Google that. It is the only one of that source. They have it for clarinet, they have it for all sorts of other different instruments, but it's wonderfully produced. Okay, so that's basic it. I'm gonna go down from the bottom all the way to the top, and when we hit that octave, our first N right here, palm pad, closest to us, is gonna be what we use to hit that high D. Side note, if you're digging on jazz right now, check out the song Watermelon Man and try and play the head from that. Here's the D major all the way from the bottom all the way to the top. 2 octaves.